pastors of New Hope. And they are one of our mission partners, our local mission partners. And these guys, they have given their lives to pour into these children and families and community, really, in the Azalea Park area to really build a better future for these kids in this community. And so I'm going to turn it over to her and let her share what God has been doing both in the mission and in her life as well. Yes, y'all give her a hand, Kris Newman.
It's so nice to be here. It's always nice to see some friendly faces, and I know some of you we haven't seen for a while, and it's nice to see that some of y'all are embracing your gray hair, just like me. So good to see you. Yeah. So John and I have been working with the kids of New Hope for over 10 years. And to be honest, when we started, that we did have some expectations of what we could accomplish there. And we didn't know how much we didn't know when we started. And so we had expectations that maybe we could make big academic gains with the kids. Maybe these kids that were struggling in poverty and trauma in their life, maybe we could come in and help them get from the bottom of the class to the top of the class. And then there must be somebody that would nominate us for Lafayette Person of the Year. And that just has not been what's happening. And we're learning that God is in the small things. And as we've gotten older and had some health challenges, we've seen that we need to slow down and start looking to see where God is specifically working. And so there's some small things that have happened as we look down through the years. There's a little. First of all, I want to say we at the center that we meet in, it is a city-run center, so we run under the same constraints and the same guidelines as the public school would. So we can't pray, we have to be careful praying and Bible stories and that kind of thing because we are functioning like a public school. So we knew when we first started that the way we were going to minister to the families and kids is by building relationships, helping them, listening, and just being there. And so I just want to share a couple of stories, some things that we've learned over the last few years. And one time we had this little boy, a lot of kids have come through the program, and this little boy named Caden came to our program. He hadn't been with us very long, and one day he came in, and he was kind of, as the young people will say, off the chain with his behavior. And so we learned that if kids came in and were having difficulty with their behavior, there was something else going on in their life. So on this specific day, that we happened to have enough help, and I was just able to spend some time with them. And he was so mad, and he was angry about a trip that he knew that we were going to go on that he didn't get to be a part of. And I tried to explain to him, I'm like, Caden, I showed him the calendar. I tried to be logical with him. You weren't even part of the program when we started planning this trip. It's not even possible that you would get to go on this trip. And so we talked, and I listened to him, and I tried to make a space for him to share with me what, all his frustration. And so finally, after about 20, 30 minutes, he looks at me and goes, Miss Kris, and my dad didn't come to my birthday party. I looked at him, and I could see the hurt and the pain in his face. And I'm like, buddy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. That was a God moment. That wasn't just a God moment for him. It was a God moment for me. A few weeks later, we had the music going in our big room, and sometimes when it's bad weather or something, we just have to kind of call an audible. And so we were listening to some music, and I looked at Caden. He had a sad face. I'm like, Caden, come dance with me. Because sometimes you just need to dance. And I took him by the hands, and we started spinning around and dancing. He got a smile on his face. And that was about relationship and connection. And he knew I cared for him, and he gave me a big hug. So there's other times this summer. Some of you were a part of New Hope this summer. We had a group from Trinity came several times to play games with our kids outside. All outside sweating in the 90, 100-degree heat, making the best of it, and we appreciate that. You also provided lunch for all our kids one time. And so we thank you for being a part of our summer program. We had a sweet group of kids this summer. And the way our summer program works is we get the kids that register. We hire people that are younger than us that have energy to be with the kids. We plan all the activities so the counselors can come and not have to worry about planning or having things prepared. That's all done for them. So their main job is to build a relationship with the kids and to create a safe space in their group so the kids can know each other. Because many times, this is one of my favorite things about New Hope is kids get to meet new people coming to New Hope, that new friends. They make new friends there. And so we had this sweet group of kids that we worked with all summer, and counselors did a great job of building relationships with them. So the last day of camp, one of our counselors had created a music video to kind of recap the whole summer. And we showed this to them so they could preview it before their parents came for the program. And as we showed the video, they just started crying. And they were crying. And they were breaking up into their little groups, hugging each other, hugging their counselor and hugging each other. And this was such a sweet moment. And I thought, ooh, this is a great moment. I'm going to put this on Facebook. And our funders are going to be so impressed to see what's going on at New Hope. And then I thought, this is not my moment. This is not my moment to share. This is a sweet moment. It's their personal moment of the God moment that had been their summer at New Hope. And so we were so thankful for that. And, down through the years, we've been at this a while now. We've seen a lot of different kids and several, I don't even, over 100, maybe 200, I don't know. There's going to be some kids, we run into some kids now that remember our names, and they're like, hey, Mr. John, hey, Miss Kris. They still remember our names. That Caden, my buddy Caden, he moved. I don't know if I'll ever see him again. But you know what? I am confident that with us creating a space for God to speak to him, he might not remember my name or face, but I think Caden will. But there might be other kids that don't. But he's going to remember the feeling of being there and feeling loved, because that's what it's all about. We show love because God is love. Thank you.